This news program is proudly brought to you by Paradise Foods, celebrating 90 years in PNG.
Telecom Limited staff participate in Pinktober Cancer Awareness. 2021 recruitment batch call on PNG DF to clarify their medical results. And Central Governor expresses disappointment on how government handled Edvu projects. Good evening, this is National Emtv News. I'm Malcolm Waira. Thank you for joining us. Female staff of Telecom Limited in Port Moresby took part in a breast cancer awareness session facilitated by the Pacific International Hospital at the Telecom headquarters today. This is part of acknowledging breast cancer awareness for this month of October, where it is dedicated to the cause of creating awareness for breast cancer, known as Pinktober.
The boardroom for the Telecom Limited was packed by older female employees of the company today with the eagerness to know more about breast cancer. Aiming to fulfill the purpose of this month, October, where the month is internationally celebrated as the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, known as the Pinktober, Telecom staffs were informed of the risk and approaches to avoid getting cancer. According to a consultant oncologist of the Pacific International Hospital, Dr. Suresh Rangunath, it is of paramount importance that cancer is detected at an early stage and urged for women to get examined.
You must do a breast self-examination and you must do clinical breast examination once a year and examine the breasts monthly. Additionally, there are now vaccines, cancer vaccines. You must do the regular screening and try to reach out to us to arrange for the cancer vaccines, and we are able to help you with these things. Early diagnosis is the only answer to breast cancer and to women's cancer, and preventive measures are even better. I would urge all the women to take these measures very stringently and to take care of their health and to advocate these measures to the sisters in the community so that we can tackle these problems head on.
It was revealed that breast cancer is the second cause of death for women, with a global death toll of 2.3 million on an annual basis. Dr. Raghunath says early detection helps to reduce the risk of deaths and caused with more chances of getting cured.
See, the cost of cancer is not just the treatment, but it's also the lost income and the lost time to the caregivers. There's also a tremendous social cost and a familial cost, an emotional cost and a spiritual cost. So these are things that are better to prevent and to avoid than to face.
Government have been urged to liaise with private hospitals to enable women to have access to these vital services.
Government should liaise with clinicians and come up with cancer-directed programs. We are very happy to offer our help and our support and to empower the women to overcome and prevail over this deadly disease.
Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
Expressing their frustration and even confusion, Batch 1 PNG DF enlisted for 2021 recruitment training are now calling on the PNG Defence Force to come clear on their results after 101 from 199 failed their recent medical tests.
The batch expressed that they applied to be permanently recruited in the PNG Defence Force started in 2021.
Since 2021, we have gone to Goldie. We have passed more the process. We were genuine recruits. We have gone to Goldie through law medical wrong through law water issue na COVID-19. We have to come down and wait out. We will wait out for all talk law after law 2021. After law, general election after 2022, Bambla go back and resume, which will give plenty false dates.
Kingsford expressed that the batch went through most of the preliminaries.
Sweat finish, we got service number, we go through the training until the Goldie finish 2021. We simoga the military brutal training until lab. We got bruises, bloods. We have scars to prove it. Secret law, we only M62 already. We have worn uniforms already. We got a service number.
He expressed that after having waited for almost 3 years, in which the members of the batch could have pursued other career paths and opportunities, they were then contacted to take up medical checks, of which they understood is required for soldiers every 2 or so years to sit for. What came as a shock to them is that 101 of them from the 199 had failed.
The other 90 that has passed, after solo separated me 90 plus passed, 101 me plus nalia all fail me after sol.
They were even denied access to their medical results.
The rights na time me plus skim all not to good long all time confidence all number out now. All tani ko kam. They have to come clean to us.
The 101 are now calling on the PNG Defence Force Authority to take heed of their plight that had prolonged for the course of almost 3 years and allow them to have their medical results to prove their status and ensure that they had been served a fair hand by the government department. Natasha Ovoy, National, MTV News.
The governor for Central Province, Rufina Peter, in a press conference held yesterday, has expressed disappointments on behalf of the Edevu landowners, the people of Central Province, the Provincial Executive Council, on the manner in which the developer and the national government have handled the Edevu power and Edevu water supply projects.
The Central Provincial Government and the people of Central Province will no longer tolerate being bypassed by developers and the national government when investing in major resource projects in the province. The governor highlighted that the people of Central Province will not be taken for granted nor continue to be spectators to resource developments on their own land. She added, "Our rights as owners and the jurisdiction of the Central Provincial Government must be recognized, acknowledged and respected."
On April 21st of this year, at the opening of Edevu hydropower project, I expressed grave concern on the fact that Central Provincial Government had not been involved at all, or to a very small extent, during the 14 years of the project from inception, development and completion.
The governor has also expressed a concern regarding the national government's failure to undertake at least 2 important tasks prior to the opening, namely Environment Impact Assessment or EIA by SEPA and the Benefit Sharing Agreement for the key stakeholders, 2 of which are the landowners and the CPG by the SOE.
Furthermore, I mentioned that key stakeholders in the Edevu project had many years of experience from the Rona Hydro Scheme, Rona 1, 2, and 3, which commenced in the 1950s, with Rona 4 established in early 2000. Yet it appeared that we had not taken into account the significant lessons learned over the considerable period of time that Rona Hydro Scheme has been in operation when working on the Edevu hydropower project.
However, the governor has commended the Prime Minister, James Marape, for responding positively to the concerns she has raised. Gladys Kila, National, MTV News.
Meanwhile, following the Prime Minister's response to the Central Provincial Governor's concern in a meeting on April 21st, after the opening of the Edevu hydropower project, it was agreed that SEPA and National Energy Authority would produce the Environmental Impact Assessment and the Technical Soundness Report of the dam, respectively. The MD for KCHL and the Central Provincial Administration would work in close consultation and collaboration on a benefit-sharing agreement, which would then form the basis for the negotiation among key stakeholders.
The governor said it's been 8 months later that she has not received any reports on the progress made in the drafting for Edevu hydropower project.
Last week, there was an advertisement in the two dailies by Water PNG Limited, inviting expression of interest from interested parties to offer a contract for design, build, operate, and transfer type model for the development of Edevu water treatment plant and associated works. In this regard, I wish to inform the public and the government of the day, the state-owned enterprise ministry, and Water PNG Limited, responsible for planning and the development of water supply systems in Papua New Guinea, that my office and the members of the Provincial Executive Council are not aware of such a project.
As such, the PEC of Central Province is demanding a Water PNG Limited to immediately withdraw and cancel the EOI for the Edevu water supply DBOT contract proposal, and the Minister for State-Owned Enterprise responsible for Water PNG Limited to hold a meeting with concerned or impacted stakeholders for CPG and inform them in a transparent and responsible manner the outstanding task as well as plans going forward in addressing this and other significant issues pertaining the Edevu water supply project. The governor further stressed that they demand key stakeholders of CPG are consulted in every stage of the development of their natural resources and importantly in negotiating their shares of the benefit. The Central Provincial Government and the Central Chamber of Commerce and Industry stand ready to negotiate to be a partner to design the proposed 130 million liters a day water treatment plant and distribution system in Edevu through the design, build, operate, transfer, delivery model. Gladys Killer, National Emtv News.
As the countdown now continues to one of the oldest cultural shows in the country, the Moar Show is set to take place on the 4th to the 5th of November 2023. Chukai Industries is a proud champion sponsor for the 60th Moar Show to come on board with a financial assistance of 115,000 kina. Chukai Industries have supported this event for over 30 years and are proud to be associated with an event that brings together people, boosts the local economy, and to encourage local knowledge by sharing and carrying out awareness of agricultural and cultural activities.
Moar Provincial Agriculture Show President Mike Quinn described this event as the most high-profile event conducted in Papua New Guinea. This remarkable show is one that has survived and thrived well for many years in PNG. It is an incredible example of what committed, community-minded volunteers can achieve, especially when it comes to preserving the country's cultural heritage. To celebrate its 60th anniversary, the show will see a variety of activities such as the Dead Devil Stuntman, skydiving extravaganza, and 62 sing-sing groups around the country with other entertainment activities. Business houses from across all industries to SME will be there in numbers to sell, promote, and showcase their products. An information center for Chukai Industries will also be set up to provide awareness on the paddy-to-plate manufacturing process, including their latest agriculture program in partnership with the universities in PNG called the Smart Farmer Program. The Chukai Industries team will also be setting up bouncy castles at the family arena, and a charity stall will be set up as well to raise funds for the Lay Cancer Foundation. Chukai Industries and other major sponsors and business houses in Lay are working together to ensure the show is a success. Gladys Killer, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break with more stories. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. Two key national government departments representatives are in Mount Hagen, Western Highlands Province this week, conducting workshops to push reforms in government policies going forward. These are the Departments of Personnel Management and the Department of National Planning and Monitoring.
The Department of Personnel Management held a workshop at Highlander Hotel, basically on performance management system and housing and related policies consultation. Speaking on behalf of the DPM Secretary Tai Sansan, the Deputy Secretary Policy and Reforms, Mr. Ellison Kalimet, said the workshop is awareness about key policy initiatives, especially in housing policy and medical life insurance. It was mentioned that housing for public servants had been a long-standing issue, and the awareness program was to chart the way forward. In that regard, while medical life insurance would also be looked at as the government plans to launch public service medical insurance in the coming year. Meanwhile, the Department of National Planning and Monitoring is also holding the Highlands Regional Medium-Term Development Plan for 2023 to 2027 alignment workshop at Samara House. The objective of the workshop is to inform the provinces and districts about the medium-term development plan for 2023 to 2027. It is to facilitate dialogue with provinces and districts on the MTDP4 to align their development plans and to ensure they understand how to implement it. Senior representatives from provincial and district administrations from all islands provinces are in attendance. The workshops hosted by the two departments are expected to conclude respectively on Friday. Gladys Gila, National Emtv News.
A memorandum of understanding was signed yesterday between the MAPEX Training Institute and the member for Karamui Salt Nomane District, Francis Yori Alua, to provide skills training to students from the district.
MAPEX Training Institute, in its tireless effort to being the leader in providing innovative and customer-focused training for the country's future skilled workforce, have signed Memorandum of Understanding with provincial governments and district development authorities. Marcus Palemkara, CEO of MAPEX Training Institute, said the institution has so far signed 5 MOUs.
We will always, come out on the media that this is what MAPEX and the DDA we partner, or the provincial administration we partner to deliver the much needed skills at the doorstep.
Mr. Kara said in order for MTI to set up campuses in provinces or districts, they have to sign an MOU.
For us, we can make a decision because to set up there, to have operate the operation there is quite. It's very expensive to, set up a campus, or like most of the campuses that we set up in other provinces, we had, signed the MOU with the provincial government and also the DDA, so that they'll subsidize some of the fees for the, especially, rental and all these things. So.
CEO Kara also said that strategies will be set to better cater for the students enrolled in their campuses.
We had, captured the number that accommodate in the, at least the classroom level. So it wouldn't be a problem, but especially in terms of accommodation. In Mosby we have accommodation, but in Koroga we don't have accommodation. But that's the thing that the member and the DDA we will, come up with some strategy how we can look after students.
Tamara Agavi, National Emtv News.
The newly appointed Secretary for the Department of Agriculture, Dr. Sergey Bang, has urged the sector to deliver and meet the Medium-Term Development Plan 4 of the national government, commencing 2024. The new secretary made this statement recently at the World Food Day observance in Port Moresby.
In the medium-term development plan, the agriculture sector is expected to deliver 30 billion for PNG, a task where the new secretary, Dr. Bang, is looking forward to take the lead in delivering.
The Agriculture Department, in its National Agriculture Sector Plan, it is developing in the next 10 years, 2024 to 2033, and being boosted by the medium-term plan for the government, that in the next 10 years that this agriculture sector must deliver for Papua New Guinea 30 billion kina. Ladies and gentlemen, this we must achieve and deliver for our country.
Dr. Bang revealed that 681 million kina is allocated annually in the agriculture sector. Thus, the sector plan must enable the money to all the 10 subsectors.
We must deliver to the targets that the government's already given us and written into the medium-term plan for all of us in the agriculture sector and from whichever subsector you're from. If you will read the medium-term plan 4, it'll tell you already what we and what in your subsector, what you're required to deliver under the government's medium-term plan 4 between 2024 and 2027.
The news secretary pointed out to its staff of what is expected of them to align with the national government plans.
So I stand here as your news secretary with firm commitment that I will, and through a revised and renewed Department of Agriculture, and also through the corporate boards and through the renewed policy and acts, that we must align to the medium-term plan for the government and we must deliver.
Dr. Bang then called for effective collaboration to implement sector plan and revealed that the plan has been finalized and will be presented to the NEC for approval at the end of this month.
I ask you all and every one of you, in whatever capacity you are, in whatever food subsector of the agriculture sector you're coming from, that you will now help us and join with us as the department and sector will in the new year in 2024, as we are going to plan to implement a national agriculture sector plan, which is now being finalized as a document to be taken to NEC for approval in the end of this month. We will launch it in November. And as we do the implementation plan of the national agriculture sector plan, in the new year, that you will come with us, that you will participate in the sector, in the sub-sector stakeholder meetings we will hold.
Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
Ward members and ward development committees of Duke of York in the Kokopo district of East New Britain are now equipped with knowledge and skills on how to monitor, respond and manage their wards and people in terms of climate change and disaster after completing the climate change mainstreaming, disaster risk strategy and emergency response simulations workshop.
The ward members and ward development committees received their certificates recently after completing the 5 days climate change mainstreaming, disaster risk strategy and emergency response simulation workshop at the Kokopo Village Resort. The workshop is co-facilitated by the United Nations Development Programme and Climate Change Development Authority, aimed at incorporating vulnerability and risk assessments into local planning processes. Speaking during the closing program, representing the East New Britain Provincial Administration was the Acting District Administrator for Kokopo District, Darius Kunai, who acknowledged UNDP, CCDA and BRCC team for successfully hosting the workshop for the benefit of the people of Duke of York. The participants shared that they have learned a lot and they are now capable to lead, educate and implement what they have learned to others. Most of them said it is their first time to attend such workshop and they are thankful as they are still faced with a lot of challenges which include access to clean water, health services, education, good roads and transport, clean environment, access to cash income and others, but this workshop is a game changer to them. Louis Maingu, National Emtv News.
A high-level panel discussion held on Tuesday, 17th of this month to review progress on the Pacific resilience journey called for collective action and timely resources to safeguard the region against climate change and disaster risks. Fiji's Minister for Rural Maritime Development and Disaster Management, Sakeasi Ditoka, highlighted that international cooperation is critical in supporting nations that are more susceptible to disasters in providing assistance that promotes resilience, equitable development, and shared knowledge.
According to Sakias Ditoka, disaster risk reduction is not just about making communities more resilient to natural hazard. It is also about ensuring that the benefits of the resilience are equitably distributed. The discussion, led by 5 experts in their respective fields and moderated by Lau Dr. Vilamu Lese of the Pacific Center for Environment and Sustainable Development, focused on the Pacific's collective resilience journey with the question, are we sailing together in the right direction? The special representative of the United Nations Secretary General for Disaster Risk Reduction and head of the UN Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, Mami Mizutori, reflected on the recommendations of the Sendai Framework midterm review and said the private sector, among many other stakeholders, play an important role in disaster risk management, infrastructure resilient investments, and supply chains, including small and medium enterprises that are the foundation of our economies. She added that the United Nations system is ready to support these sectors, but must do it together and in the right direction, highlighting that the world is connected. And if the world doesn't do well, the region will suffer. And if the region doesn't do well, the world will suffer. It was highlighted that last year, Pacific Islands Forum leaders declared that the climate emergency facing the region is an existential threat that requires joint efforts to minimize and mitigate its impact and strengthen resilience in all communities across the Pacific. Pacific Community Director of Geoscience, Energy and Maritime Division, Rhonda Robinson, reiterated the Pacific resilience journey is moving in the right direction, and this is reflected in the endorsement of the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent, which as a key pillar on climate change and disasters, the framework for resilient development in the Pacific and the Pacific Resilience Partnership. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
Now to the NESFAN market report. The Kina closed lower at $0.2695 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2620, 0.4112 Australian dollars, 0.2412 euro, 38.94 Japanese yen. Looking at the commodity prices, at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copper closed lower, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National Emtv News continues after the break with Chukai Sports. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. The coming weekend is set to see PNG Orchids go up against Cook Islands Moana in the second week of the Pacific Championships. The Moanas assured that they will display their best on Sunday.
The Moanas co-captain to Kotorua Arakua is Perth's finest Annika Stephen from Western Australia and Cook Island. Stephen says despite the heat in PNG, the Moanas aim to be a challenge on Sunday as the team always aim to outdo their previous matches.
I think just every game for us, we always want to get that win because we don't get as much game time as everyone else. So when we do play, we do want to sort of get our rankings up every now and then. So we don't really focus too much on other people's games, just ours.
Expressing the team's enthusiasm, she said the team is quiet and vibrant with many of the players making their debuts.
So there's only 6 or 7 of us from the actual World Cup, and I think there's 2 that have played previously and the rest are all debutants.
Warming up the PNG's atmosphere, the women power team yesterday visited Tengay Christian Academy in Port Moresby, where the team embraced the school with their traditional aka and words of encouragement. This weekend, the PNG Orchids will take on the Cook Island Moana at the National Football Stadium on Sunday, the 22nd. Tickets are sold at the J-Mart and the Santos Stadium at 12 Kina for the double-header this Sunday, where Fiji will take on the Cook Island men's team at 4 p.m. on Sunday after Orchids and Moana's match. Louis Maingu, Chukai Sports.
That ends Chukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
The weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby City, mostly cloudy tonight with rain showers and drizzles and inland thunderstorms. Daru, rain drizzles tonight, then cloudy morning. Kerama, rain drizzles, then cloudy morning. Alotau, cloudy with morning rain showers and drizzles. Popondetta, rain showers and possible thunderstorms tonight, then cloudy morning. Turimomasa region, Ley City, cloudy tonight with morning showers and possible thunderstorms. Medang, Wewak and Vanimo, cloudy tonight with morning showers and drizzles. To the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, partly cloudy tonight with morning shower or two. Keviang, cloudy tonight with morning showers and possible thunderstorms. Kokopan Rabaul, cloudy tonight with morning showers. Kimbe, partly cloudy and morning showers. Buka, brief showers tonight and partly cloudy morning. To the Highlands region, Mount Agan City, cloudy with rain drizzles tonight, then morning fog. Goroka and Kundiawa, rain showers and drizzles, then morning fog. Mendi and Wabeg, rain showers, then morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Thursday, the 19th of October, 2023. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Paradise Foods, celebrating 90 years in PNG.